Okay, well, hello, everyone. Thank you for coming to spend some time with us. The team and I, we wanted to pop on here and share something that is near and dear to our heart. I guess Makita and I can say. A lot of people, we've had a number of people come into the EntreMD Business School. We have a number of people who are considering this is something that I want to do. And one of the things we want, the whole purpose behind the school is we want doctors to come in, we want them to win, we want them to get results and all of that. So I figured right off the bat, we would come and talk about how you can 10x your investment in the EntreMD Business School. Now, we purposely do not call it a cost. We do not call it an expense. We call it an investment because we want you to come in and get a return. I literally want you to come in and afterwards go like, Dr. Una, I think we still owe you money. Okay, I don't think we paid you enough for the level of transformation that you got. That's truly what we want to get out of this. And there is a technology for that. There are things that we have put in place to make sure that happens. There are things you can do to make sure that happens. So we're going to talk all about that. So you can have a roadmap, you can have a yellow brick road. You know how to execute on this. So this is going to be really, really great. We start off, even to start with, we start off on Monday with what we would call the orientation of the EntreMD Business School. But it's not an orientation like, here's your login, here's your password, like that. It is setting the stage. We're going to host your 90-day sprint workshop. And that's a workshop where you set the vision, the goals, the strategy, all of that for the next 90 days. So that becomes day one. You can literally hit the ground running. And 90 days later, you can look back and say, oh my goodness, right? So when we say 90 days later, we're really looking at the end of the third quarter of the year. So that'll be end of September, where you're like, oh my goodness, I cannot believe this happened in 90 days. During EntreMD Live, we brought up Dr. Sarah Ionescu to come and, share, about her experience as a physician entrepreneur. And we did that because she joined the school in February. Like she's been in the school for a really short time. I just wanted everybody to see, like, even if you're unclear about this is what my business idea is and all of those things, I wanted people to see this is the level of transformation that you can create in a 90-day period. And that is kind of our bread and butter zone of genius in the EntreMD Business School. It really is the transformation. Okay. So yesterday, Dr. Makita, I haven't even told you this. Yesterday, I was listening to an episode of the Inside the Business School podcast. So if you don't know, we have a podcast where, it's so many things that happen in the school. So just feature the doctors, ask them questions and all of that. So this episode has actually not been released yet. It was recorded yesterday. Dr. Beckford, who is the host of the show, interviewed Dr. Karen. Dr. Karen Kaufman is an allergist who has been in the school since September of 2020. So she joined the school in September of 2020, started her practice in January of 2021, and has completely crushed it. So I am not a crying person. I have tried to be a crying person. I just am not a crying person. But if I was, I would have been boohoo crying with snot everywhere. It was so good. But I'll tell you why, right? I'll tell you why. It's because of the level of transformation. So she started her practice in January of 2021. And between January of 2021 and now, she's not only filled up her schedule, she has a part-time nurse practitioner who works with her. She has a part-time physician who works with her. She just signed a contract with a full-time physician that'll be starting this fall. She has outgrown her space. She says, I cannot believe in 3.5 years I'm having this problem. Like I never dreamt it would be possible. She's outgrown her space. She has signed a lease, like with a really great deal for a completely different space. She'll be moving into the fall. She started new verticals in her business, and she has had more time to go on vacations, done international trips. Her sons are heavily involved in baseball. She's able to travel with their team everywhere they need to go. She is living life on her terms. It's so wild. Why am I telling you that? Like, how many of you, and I would really love for you guys to engage the comments, the chat, all of that. How many of you will agree that, oh my goodness, I would consider that a great return on investment? Consider that a great return on investment. So in the last 3.5 years, I mean, her life is completely different. Her business is completely different. the goals that she has set goals so many times that she started at the beginning of the year. And by the middle of the year, she needed to reset the goals because she's like, I've done everything. And 2024 ended up being a year like that again. And she's like, I'm practically done with everything I set out to do in 2024. So I had to set new goals over again. Now, am I saying this is exactly word for word how it's going to happen for you? No. But what I am telling you is that there is so much possibility. Okay, so much possibility. So Makita is going to post the link in there. I'm going to ask you multiple times. A number of you have already filled out your applications. A number of you were in process with you. But if you haven't turned in an application, it's not a binding contract. It's not like explore what is possible. But okay, so let's talk about this. Now, the first thing to understand is that the return on investment in the EntreMD Business School is something that it's 5 different returns you can get. Okay, so a lot of people will think about the money, but there are 5 different returns on things, categories of your return on investment, and all of them they're things that you want. Okay, so the first one is the revenue, and we talk about that a lot because we have been what is the word I should use for this? We have kind of been put in this box where don't talk about money, just talk about helping people, all of those kind of things. We do not do that in the EntreMD Business School because we know that business is an economic sport. Okay, and the financial freedom is a foundation of a lot of other freedoms, and we're going to figure that out. Okay, so we talk about that a lot. So the first return on investment you can get from the EntreMD Business School, or you will get from the EntreMD Business School, will be financial. It will be the revenue that you're able to create. Now, you may wonder, like, will I be able to, like, I don't know, I don't have the roadmap. Not your job to have the roadmap. There's division of labor. I will show you your part. We have the roadmap, okay? So we have the roadmap for, how do I make my business visible? Because many of us, we have really great businesses, really great ideas, really great brands, really great practices, really great, events that we do and all of that. But it's the visibility that's a challenge. Like, nobody knows about it. So if nobody knows about it, there's just no way to make money. We have the roadmap to how to multiply your visibility. We have a whole framework called the revenue generation framework, where like, take this, install it in your business, and you'll see what happens. Like, we talk about that. We train you on that. We show you how to put it in your business. We show you how to apply it to your business. When we do the workshop on July 8th, which is Monday, I should stop saying July 8th, like it's a long time away. On Monday, which is the beginning, which is day 1 for you, when we come into that workshop, we're going to be talking about it. Like, I will start off by saying, okay, top 3 goals for the next 90 days. Number 1 is revenue. Don't play with mama. Okay. Number one is revenue. If you do not have a way to collect revenue at this time, it will be your email list, because it's directly related to revenue, but it's revenue. Why? Because we will train you on how to do that, how to be this person who understands how to create revenue. Okay. So the visibility formula, the revenue generation formula, how to build a profitable team, where when you're bringing team members on, it's an investment, not your payroll becomes an investment, not an expense, right? So everyone you bring on, they expand your capacity to have impact. They expand your capacity to earn. We are so committed to it. Like July 11th, which is Thursday, we actually have a training for the teams of the people in the EntreMD Business School. Like, we're hosting a training for all their team members. Like, bring your team members, bring them in. We will train them on work ethic. We will train them on, understand, like why their KPIs are important. We will train them to follow the vision. We will show them how to put themselves in a position to be promoted. We are actually doing the training. So it's me, it's Makita, it's my practice administrator, a number of us. Why? Because we're committed. We want you to build teams that would expand your impact and expand your capacity to earn, right? Okay. So these are some of the things we do. Why? We want you to have a return on investment, the financial return on investment. We want you to have it. Okay? We want you to have it. So I'm going to stop here for a second, and I'm going to ask you to post this in the chat. Okay? So you are running a business, and you might say, oh, like, my business is my brand. Everybody has a business. So if you're like, I don't have a formal business, then your brand is your business, right? How many of you would like a roadmap? Like, this is the way I can create revenue in my business. If that's you, say that's me. I would love a roadmap. I would love to know how to customize it for my business. I will love to evolve so I can be the person who does this confidently. Let me know in the chat. If that's you, just say, that's me. That's me. That's me. I would want that. I would want that. Dr. Tony, I know you're driving, so please don't say that's me. All right, so who is that? Who is that? I am patient. I will wait. I will wait because I want to make sure you're getting this. All right. So who would want a roadmap? I want to know how to create revenue in my business. I would want to know. Let me know in the comments. Type that's me in the comments. All right, we'll wait though. Come on, guys. You guys are entrepreneurs. You people are the ones that are the vision boards for the physician community. You are the people who are going to go out and you're going to 10x your visibility. You're the people who are going to create businesses that are impactful, that are innovative, that are profitable. You gotta be able to show up in the chat. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. If it's not you, type that's not me. Like I just want to hang out with Dr. Una. I don't want to talk about how to create revenue. Let me know in the chat. Type it in the chat. That's me. That's not me. Dr. Wendy says that's me. Hi, Tiwa. How are you? So good to see you. Dr. Tia says, look, Dr. Una, I am filling out my application. Okay. So I missed the question. Okay. I'll take it. I'll accept it as a good excuse. So return on investment number one is the revenue. Okay. Dr. Rhoda says me. Yes. Okay. Number one is the revenue. Okay. The second return on investment is you get your time back. You get your time back. In the EntreMD Business School, we have normalized people prioritizing their families. We have normalized parents going to have lunch at their kids' school. We have normalized people going on vacation, even though they're entrepreneurs and all of those things, and they're building their businesses. We have normalized people taking time off, people taking weekends off, people not charting at home. We've normalized that. And so we go all in. We have, Nikita will tell you, the last time I did the training on the CEO calendar, which is this system where we use our calendar to tame our time and control our time and use it the way we want to use it, it was 3 different sessions because we're all in on it. I have built a life where I am living on my own terms. I am using my time the way I want to use my time. I am homeschooling my kids because I want to. I travel with them on business trips and take them to different places, to school from different places because I want to. I have the freedom to write the books, to do the podcast, to go all in on supporting doctors because I created my life that way. And in the EntreMD Business School, we do the same thing. So it was last quarter that someone said my revenue went up by 42%, but the time I spent working went down by 22%. Why? Because we're big. We want you to get your time back, right? Like the normal thing of how you doing? Oh, we're busy. We don't know. we do not accept that as a status quo. Now, does that mean you're not going to work? Of course you're going to work, but you're going to work in such a way that you start accomplishing a lot more by doing a lot less. Okay. So where are my active people who are the vision boards for the physician community, who are going to build the most impactful, most innovative, most profitable businesses inside and outside of healthcare? If you're like, I want my time back, say that's me too, right? Like I want to get my time back. I want to be more in control of my time. I want to use my time for the things that are important to me, right? Like who are those people? Let me know in the chat, okay? Chop, chop. Remember, we're people talking, okay? All right. So that's the second return on investment. The third return on investment is really multiplying the impact that you can have, right? Like think about what you're doing now, add a zero, add 2 zeros. Think about how big your impact can be, whether that is multiplying the number of clients or patients that you can serve, whether that is now launching like different platforms, whether that's podcasting, whether that's a YouTube channel, whether that's a book, whether that's you speaking on stages, whether that is new businesses or new business verticals. I started saying from the beginning, I'm saying, guys, I know you will not believe me, but many of you are going to be serial entrepreneurs, right? I started saying that from the beginning. And now people are like, they came in, they built out their personal brand, which was generating revenue on its own. Then they create a private practice, which is generating revenue on its own. And they're already thinking about the third, right? Like you can multiply your impact. Dr. Rachel Rubin, she's a rock star student at EntreMD Business School, been in it for a number of years. She is a urologist, fellowship trained in sexual medicine. And she's like big time advocacy, right? She's in Washington. She's talking to not the DEA, the FDA. Like, let's get this black box warning off of vaginal estrogen. Let's do all of these things. Like, imagine the magnitude of the impact. Magnitude, right? Now you can multiply that, right? And that's a return on investment that you get from the school. And for physicians, I know I'm a physician. I've talked to thousands of physicians, and this is the deal. We don't go into medicine for the money. We go into medicine because we want to help. We go into medicine because we want to live a life of significance, a life that touches the world, a life that changes people, a life that changes communities, right? And yes, we want the financial freedom, but that's not the most important thing to us, right? We want our time. We want to have impact. Like, this is what we want. And the EntreMD Business School is a vehicle that helps you get there. So that's return on investment number 3. Number 1, financial. Number 2 is getting your time back. Number 3 is multiplying your impact, like massively multiplying your impact. Okay. Number 4 is my personal favorite, but a lot of times people miss it. They don't realize it happened. And that is your evolution. Like you would hear people, I think Dr. Tola said this during EntreMD Live. Yes, she's built a very successful practice, right? Yes, she's brought in like millions of dollars at this point, right? She served thousands and thousands of patients and all of these things. But she will tell you that the thing that she loves the most is the person she's become, Like going from a person that I'm just a doctor or I'm working, we're trying to figure out this business thing, to being this person who is a confident entrepreneur, who knows how to run time, who's prioritizing their priorities, changing every aspect of their life, understands how to create revenue, understands how to multiply impact, to become that person. Like that is the best thing since sliced bread, right? And that is the real wealth, because money in a business, if you lose money in a business, but you have become the person who creates businesses, you can replace it. That's the real wealth. Real wealth, portable wealth, is you, the person who can create whatever needs to be created, right? And so what you get is your evolution. I have had spouses of people in EBS stop me and say, Dr. Una, so nice to meet you. Thank you so much. I have a new wife. I have a new husband. This is a completely different person. We have had people think, like at the end of their first year at the EntreMD Business School, they're like, I wonder if I should do a second year. And it's their spouses that are like, oh, yes, you will. Not like commanding them, but oh, yes, you should. Because, oh my goodness, you are a different person. Like, why would you not do this again? We had a doctor in the business school, and they were going through their profit and loss statement, all these things with their accountant. And their accountant said, oh, what is this EntreMD Business School thing? What is this line item right here? And not her husband. Her husband, who is not in the school, says that is a non-negotiable business. That is a non-negotiable investment in our business. She's been in the school probably 3 years at this point. She's like, that is a non-negotiable investment in our business. Why is that? She is a different person. Okay. Now, I suspect that you love who you are, but you know there's more. You're like, there's so much more juice in here. Like, you may not know how to squeeze it out. You may not know, you may not even be able to articulate it. But how many of you are like, I would like to meet her, I would like to meet him, the upgraded version of myself? Because the upgraded version of yourself is like, I mean, like when you meet that person, oh my goodness, you'd be like, I like her. Okay. Dr. Mickey says every day. That's the 4th return on your investment. So you get the financial return on your investment, you get your time back, you get multiplied impact, like exponentially increased impact. You get to meet you 2.0. Oh my goodness, you will love that version of you. And number 5, many people did not expect this, but it is the wins you get in your personal life. And people tell me about their marriages being better. People tell me about their relationships with their kids being better. People tell me, like, for the first time in their life, they've been able to work out consistently. Their health is better. There is so much more peace. They have so much fulfillment, loving life. When we had one of our in-person retreats, one of the doctors walked up to me. She was like, Dr. And I don't think this will make sense to you, but I need to tell you. I'm like, what? She's like, my business is so much better. I have a great team. The money is good. But she says, the best thing that happened to me because of the EntreMD Business School is the wins I have in my marriage, because it's that version of me that's now showing up at home. I want you to think about that. I want you to think about that. So the return on investment is not just financial. And I don't say not just financial, meaning you won't get financial. If you notice, I mentioned that first, right? I mentioned that first. We're business people. Business is an economic sport. So yes, there will be the revenue that grows. Yes, there will be, you get your time back, which is almost more priceless than the money. Yes, you're going to have a multiplied impact. Multiplied. Dr. Rachel Rubin, I've mentioned her before. I mean, based on what she does on Instagram and with her speaking and all of those things, she's really big on, sexual health and menopause and all of that. People from all over the world reach out to her to tell her about how what she does has changed their lives. She's being invited to some of the biggest stages. She's doing advocacy work in Washington. And when I say advocacy, like overall, please understand, she's doing very, very well financially. I'm not just talking about, oh, you're touching the world, like doctors are trained to, but don't talk about the money. No. She's serving and earning. Both of them are happening at the same time. So her impact has gone from the exam room to global. And she hasn't even started yet. She started her when did she start her business? 2022, I think. I think it was 2022. Like she's not even at the beginning. Right? Okay. So is the impact, is the evolution, it's end of 2022. Okay. It's who you become, is who you become in the process. The version of you become, which is priceless, because you see, money's in your bank account. Your real wealth is you, is the portable wealth. It's what you're able to produce because of who you are, right? And then the 5th one is the wins in your personal life. And so let me know in the chat, how many of you are like, I will take all 5 of those. Thank you very much, Dr. Una. I will have all 5. Let me know in the chat. Maybe someone's here like, no, I just want one of them. But who's like, I will have all 5. Thank you very much. Thank you, Dr. Una. This is great. I will have all 5, right? No. So Dr. Rhoda says, oh, yes, we could use all 5. Dr. Tira, Dr. Tia. See? All 5. And the school is built in such a way that you can have all 5, right? Like everything we do in the school, the way the community is crafted, the live sessions you have with us every week, the live events that we do, the books we give you to read, every single thing is crafted so you can have these 5 things. These 5 things, okay? Now, I will be very transparent to let you know that we have a big role to play. Clearly, if you hear me talk about the return on investment, you must know that we've given a lot of thought to this. Like, these are the things we want them to win at. So we structure the program in such a way that it can deliver these results. We want you to have all 5, okay? But there are parts that we cannot do. There are parts that if you bring this, if we bring our magic and you bring your magic, I'm about to tell you what your magic is, then we're going to be creating, like, you're going to stop and go like, I cannot believe that this is me. I cannot believe this is my business. I cannot believe this is my life, right? So who wants to see the magic? Let me know. I've shown you 50% of the magic. Well, really, it's like 80% of the magic, man. I just need a little magic from you. Okay. Who wants to see the little magic they need to bring? Just little. Makita's like, tell us, Dr. Una already. Who here wants to know? I want to know the magic, Dr. Una. Let me know what it is. Let me know what it is. Okay. So it's 5 things. They're very simple. I promise you they're very simple. The team and I, we work tirelessly to make this as low of a lift as we can. There's still going to need to be some lifting, but we try to make it as low as we can. This is my 14th year as an entrepreneur. And I have done multiple businesses over the last 14 years. I have done a lot of experiments. Makita knows I'm right in the middle of an experiment. I'm like, I can't wait for this to play out so I can come to the school. I can show them, this is how you do this in less than 90 days. Like, I'm always doing experiments. I'm always taking one for the team. Why? I want you to win. This is my 6th year of coaching physicians. I've spoken to thousands and thousands of physicians. I've supported so many businesses, and I'm always looking, what is the path? How can we do this faster? How can we do this better? How can I make this clear? How can I help people? Like, how can we do this? We're here for you. 1,000% here for you. So I just want to show you there's just some magic. If I could, I would have. But these are 5 things I cannot do for you. And you can do it. You can do it. Why am I telling you this? I want you to have a yellow brick road where you know, like, oh, if I just do these 5 things and put myself in this container, I'll be all right. Yes, that's what I want to show you. Number one is a commitment to your goals. It's a commitment to your business. So you may say, you know what? I have a private practice. We brought it to multiple 6 figures. I want to take it to 7 figures. I just need your commitment to that goal. You might say, I don't even know. I just know there's more. I've heard Dr. Una talk about this entrepreneur thing. I want to build out my brand and monetize it. I just need to be committed to that. You're like, I'm burnt out in my business. We're making the millions, but the team thing is just, I haven't been able to figure it out. So I don't have any time. I'm just drowning doing the work and all of that stuff. I just want you to be committed to building a team that will give you your life back. Commitment to your goals. Now, does that mean sometimes you won't have hard times, you won't have self-doubt? I'm not saying don't have like that's going to creep up and all of that, but you're just deciding no retreat, no surrender. I'm going to get this done. And I'm grateful I have a community to support me. I'm grateful I have the mentorship from someone who's a serial entrepreneur, who's done all of those things, but I am committed. Okay. So let me know in the chat, because I suspect it's a Saturday. Okay. And you only knew about this call this morning. Some of you 30 minutes ago. How many of you are committed to your goals? Like, you're just like, I'm committed. Like, I may not even have the whole how figured out, and the how is my job. Okay. I may not have the whole how figured out, but I'm committed. Like, I'm not going down like this. I'm not accepting that I'm stuck. I'm not accepting like this is the only way things can be. I'm committed. I have one committed person on this call. Who else is committed? Let me know in the chat. I'm committed. I'm committed. I'm committed. Okay. Awesome. So that's the first thing. I wish I could do it for you. I cannot. Okay. Number two is to be coachable. Coachable. I read a book a week. Who do I do that for? The people I lead. Because I'm like, the worst thing you can have is an ignorant leader or an ignorant mentor. I read a book a week. I listen to 1, 2, 3 podcast episodes a day. I invest over $100,000 in my personal development every year. Why? Because I want to give you the real things that work, the shortest possible way. I want to continue to create massive wins so I can challenge you to dream bigger, to do bigger, to show you it's possible. It's possible. Physicians can do it. It's possible. Now, if I do all of that and I don't have someone who's coachable, I can't help them. I've tried. Makita will tell you, I've tried. It doesn't work. Why do you need to be coachable? Because you will meet concepts that are new to you. But the thing is, everything you know has brought you to where you are. And if you're going to go somewhere else, You need to be exposed to new things. You need to think new thoughts. You need to do new things. And so as long as you're like, that's interesting. Let me try that. I see that work for that person. Let me try that. If you can be coachable, we can create magic. I'll give you an example. I talked about Dr. Karen, and Dr. Karen now runs a business that can run, like she can travel for a month. She can do all these things. The business will work without her. She has a great team. Okay. Now, her first year in business, we had our vision retreat. Our vision retreat we have in October. We plan out the year. We do all of those things. Amazing, amazing retreat. And she says, oh, Dr. Una, I won't be able to come for the retreat. I'm like, how come? And she said, because I don't have anybody who would cover my practice and we would lose money on that day. And I said, Dr. Karen, what you're describing is a problem. Like, you have a practice that you cannot walk away from for 2 days. And so the solution is you bring yourself to the vision retreat and we solve the problem. You lose money on those 2 days. So you never have to lose money on 2 days when you're not in your practice anymore. And she could have said, no, I can't do it. I'll plan for next year. I'll plan for the next live event. I'll do all of that. You know what she did? She shut her practice down for those 2 days. She came for the vision retreat. She figured out how to hire. She embraced for the first time, like, wow, I don't know, maybe I can hire another doctor, because the first time you have to do doctor payroll, I mean, that's a significant payroll. She was a year into private practice, right? And she got herself to that point. Now she has a nurse practitioner, a physician, and she just signed on another physician. But she was coachable. Same thing when we're like, okay, it's time to market. She was coachable. Okay. All right. How many of you would say here you're coachable? Like, what, Dr. Una, talk about the next thing because I got this. How many of you are like, I'm coachable? I see a question here. I'm going to come back and I'm going to answer that question. I'm coachable. I'm coachable. That's me. I'm committed to my goals. I'm coachable. Okay. I'm coachable. I got that. I got that. Okay. Dr. Tiwa says 1 book per week is impressive. I do it for you, Dr. Tiwa. So when I show up on the podcast, when I show up in the business school, when I show up, I am ready to deliver. I'm ready to support the people I'm called to serve. That's why I do it. Yeah. Okay. Number three, what's your magic? Massive action. Massive action. Now, I will tell you, the action can be messy. We're good with that. You could be unsure as you're taking the action. We're good with that. You may even say, I've never done anything like this before. It's uncomfortable. That's okay. And the beautiful thing about being in the EntreMD Business School is everybody's doing it messy. Everybody's doing it unsure. Everybody's doing it uncomfortable. We're all eating frogs. That's what we call it. We use the vomit emoji a lot in EBS, like, ah. So it can be fun. Messy, uncomfortable action can be fun. But if you will bring that to the table, we can create magic. Okay, so you're committed to your goals. You're committed to your goals. You're coachable. You're willing to take messy action. Number 4 is when. Notice I did not say if. When the challenges show up. People call them problems. We call them challenges in EBS. Okay, when the challenges of entrepreneurship show up, you lean in. You don't lean out. You lean into the community. You lean into your mentors. You lean in, not out. So you're like, oh my goodness, okay, I did the thing. It didn't work the way I thought it would work. What did I miss? You lean in. We're not embarrassed by things we did that didn't work or struggles that we have, but we normalize that. But you lean in. Why? Because everybody's there to help you. The community is there to help you. I'm there to help you. Makita is there to help you. Jessica is there to help you. We're all there to help you. But we need to see you to help you. We need to know what's going on to help you, right? How many of you will say, like, I will lean in. I can do that. I can lean in. So we don't hide when we have challenges. We lean in and say, hey, everybody, this is what's going on. What would you do if you were me? And some people will come out because they had the exact same experience 2 weeks ago, a month ago, a year ago. And they say, oh, girl, oh, man, this is how you handle that. Okay, lean in, lean in. I love Dr. Tiwa. She's like, I can lean in. Yes, lean in. Like, lean in. We don't lean out when we have challenges. We don't try to put up a perfect front. We don't do that. Like, think about somebody who's in a boxing ring, right? Every so often they have to go to the corner and say, oh man. And they're like, come on, you can do it. This is what you need to, that's what you need to do. You can do it. And we send you back. Like, go get him. Go get him. All right. So same thing, like race cars, pit stop, right? That's where you get refueled. You get all of that. Go get them. Okay. So that's number 4. Number 5, there's a statement that your net worth is your net worth. The second you step into the EntreMD Business School, your net worth multiplies. Because now you're in a community of 100 physicians who are physician entrepreneurs, who are crushing it, and who have refused to settle. So wherever you see them, it has become their new stepping stone. They're going somewhere else. They know people. They can open all kinds of doors for you. They have all kinds of expertise. They have all kinds of experience, and they are rooting for you. So number 5 is taking advantage of the community. Like, take advantage of everything. Like, I want to be a guest on podcasts. There are podcasters there. I want to be a guest on someone's IG. There are IG lives everywhere. I want to know how to hire this kind of person. There are people who've done that. I have a question about this kind of software. There are people who use it. Like, you have access. I mean, I'm trying to get in touch with this person. Oh, my cousin knows their uncle who's their friends. That, like, it's fascinating what happens. Fascinating. There are people who are like, oh yeah, somebody asked me if I can speak on their stage on XYZ, but I'm booked solid. Who wants this? They're opening doors. They're creating all kinds of opportunities. And if you're like, oh, this is my network now. Okay, right? Okay. It will be magical what can happen with you. So let me remind you of your magic, and you can let me know if you can do this. Can you stay committed to your goals? Can you be coachable? Can you take action? It's okay if it's messy. It's okay if you're unsure. It's okay if it's uncomfortable. Can you lean in rather than out when you have challenges? And can you take full advantage of a community that's already been built for you? Like, this is not a beta test. This community has existed for 4 years. Can you do that? So if you can do that, let me know in the chat. Say 5 for 5, like Dr. Una, speak no more. So there are 5 things. That's your magic. And on the other side, you can 10x your investment. 5 types of return on investment. Financial, you get your time back, right? You get your time back. You massively increase your impact. You have the evolution. You become the kind of person who is a serial entrepreneur, who has their time, who's living their life on their terms, who's practicing medicine on their terms. And you have so many personal wins that you never thought that a business school could give you, right? So that's your return on investment. That's how you can 10x your return on your investment. So the only thing missing is you in the school. The only thing missing is a decision. And like I said, all through EntreMD Live, that will be a hard no, or that will be an absolutely yes. But what we don't do is undecided. We don't do undecided. And so if you're like, I want that return on investment, and I can bring my magic, because Dr. Una has told me about her magic. I can bring my magic. Go turn in your application. EntreMD.com/business. And it's time for you to start your journey to that ROI. Starting, like July 8th, this Monday, start with your 90-day sprint plan workshop. It's a 2-hour workshop. And you're going to create, like, we're going to co-create your yellow brick road. Like, for the next 90 days, this is where I'm going. This is how I'm going to get there. And then you're going to have the mentorship, the accountability, the community you need over a 90-day period to make that your reality. Like right now in the EntreMD Business School, people are celebrating their Q2, their second quarter of the year in review. Is unbelievable. The wins people have created in 90 days. And that could be you. September 30th, we could be celebrating you. Okay, so turn in your application. EntreMD.com/business. Makita actually so graciously is like, it's Monday. I want to help them get in. So she's actually going to reach out to you, finalize everything, and you'll be good. You'll be good. But this is what I would tell you. I started this journey 14 years ago. Time doesn't make things better. What you do with the time is what determines if you'll be better or not. And so if you've been thinking about this and you're like, I want to do it, but, I'm going to challenge you. Like, what do you really actually have to lose that is worse than staying exactly the same? That's for that. If you want to stay the same, that's fine. But if you have an actual goal and you're trying to go somewhere, what could be worse? So you may be thinking, is this the right time? And I will tell you, maybe not. Maybe the right time was 2 years ago, 3 years ago. But all you have is today. So this is the right time, right? Will I have the time? And I'll tell you, like I told Dr. Karen, if you don't have the time, that's the symptom. That's a symptom of a bigger problem. And we show you how to create the time. Part of your ROI is you get your time back. You get your time back. That's what we want you to have. We have people first year in private practice. And they have their time to build their relationships. They have their time to go on vacation. They have their time. They're not charting at night, right? And you may say, oh, the money. And I really want to challenge you. And Makita knows I don't like talking about this because I'm like, no, it's not. It's not the money. It's not the money. If you're truly looking for, funding options and things like that, there's financing. You can talk to Makita. She can sort that out. I believe there's some people that their payments are less than, like $1,000 a month or something like that. There are financing options if you want to do that. But please hear me. You figured out how to go to medical school. You figured out how to survive residency. You figured out whatever number of years of business you're in. It's not that. Savvy entrepreneurs, the ultra successful, do not look at cost. They look at investments and return on investment. So the question is, if you invest in the EntreMD Business School and you end up with the revenue, the time, the impact, your personal evolution, your personal life is better, what is the number you put on that? Because if the number is less than what you invest in the business school, don't do it. Do not invest in the business school. But what number would you put on your relationships being better, on having your time back, of having a business that works, of having a team that is running your business? Like, what number would you put on that? So no, it's not the money. I promise you it's not. I promise you it's not. Okay. So is there a clear ROI? Yes. Is there a clear roadmap? Like, this is my part to play so I can get the ROI? Yes. Is there evidence that this has worked? Yes, it's worked for 4 years and it works better and better every year, right? Is there evidence? Yes. If that's the case, it's your time to say yes. What you've been waiting for is here, is the EntreMD Business School. So EntreMD.com/business, you can turn in your application. Makita will be happy to work out the details with you. Even if you're like, I'm ready, but I have one question, fill out an application. We will work with you. Okay, I want to answer some questions here. I saw a question. Some of us don't have the business yet, but know there's more. Is EntreMD for folks like us? Now, so let me talk about this real quick. In the EntreMD Business School, we have businesses from startup all the way to 8.5 million. Okay, so we have a range. And someone may say, like, why do you have that range? I don't know. I think that's a topic for a different conversation, but the range works. Just know that the range works. Okay, so this is the deal. Everybody has a business. So like you asked that question, you already have a business. This is what I try to tell physicians everywhere. Your personal brand is your business. It's just that we have businesses that haven't been attended to and we haven't quite monetized yet, but it is your business. So when you come into the school, you're not coming like, I don't have a business. You come in like, my personal brand is my business. We have a training on business models, so you can then define, this is how I want to monetize it. So you come in as big and bad and hard as everybody else, anybody who has a private practice or who's a coach or whatever, knowing that I'm building my brand. So let me give you examples. We have a doctor in the school who is what we call an entrepreneur. She works a job, she's building her personal brand, but she's learning all these principles and she's applying it in her job. Because she did that, she was able to negotiate. Last year, she negotiated for 12 weeks off, an employed physician, 12 weeks off, and she made more money than she's ever made as an employed physician. How come? She learned to negotiate. She treated her brand like a business. She negotiated like a boss. How many of you would be okay with 12 weeks off and more money than you've ever made as an employed physician? Same job. What happened? She became an entrepreneur. That's what happened. Okay, so that's one. Two, we had another doc who was reporting he did his 2023 in review. So usually at the end of the year, we look at the whole year. He dropped from 5 days a week to 4 days a week and made 42% more as a salary. 42%. Like, think about the math. It's insane. It's just insane when you think about it. Okay, so that's her. Now, somebody else, Dr. Funke, she started off, these were her exact words. I know there's more. And I understand that because that's how I started. I was like, there's something wrong. There's more. There has to be more. So she started with, I know there's more. I don't know what it is. I'm like, you don't have to worry about that. You have the business. It's your brand. Let's build your brand. She builds her brand. She starts speaking. Okay, she starts speaking. She starts a YouTube channel. She's doing all these things on social media. She started speaking on the biggest stages, right? She's on ABC. She's on Fox. Baby Center paid her to do a course for them. She's doing workshops. Like, she's doing all kinds of things. She builds out a dominant brand, a profitable brand. Okay. Then after a year and a half, she's like, you know what? I think it's time. I want to start my own private practice. But in the meantime, guess all the skills she would need to build a private practice. She already built them. So she wasn't starting from ground zero. She knows how to network. She knows how to build a referral base. She knows how to speak for results in her business. She knows how to do all of this. She built a solid network. So at the end of this year, she's going to have a dominant brand and a dominant practice. There is no physician that needs to wait. There's nothing to wait for. Like, let me wait until I start this business. Let me wait on. There's nothing to wait for. You have a business that's already quote unquote behind. Now, that's not language we use in EntreMD. We don't talk about behind, but what I'm trying to say is you already have a business that maybe if you graduated from residency 20 years ago, you have a 20-year-old business that we just haven't focused on at all. Maybe it's time. Right? So I hope that answers your question, but for like this, if you do not have what people consider traditional business yet, I don't want you to think you don't have a business. You do. It's Dr. U Incorporated, and it's a real brand. It's a real business. We had a doc in the school who built his brand, and through brand ambassadorships got $100,000 in 1 quarter or a half of a quarter. Right? Like, who's going to sneeze at that? Nobody. So you have a business. Oh, you do. And if you want to monetize it, let's go. If you want to build it out, let's go. There's nothing to wait for. Nothing at all. Okay. All right. Do I have any more questions? Does anybody have a question I need to answer? Or Makita, do you have a question you want me to answer? Because you talk to so many doctors. And Makita, thank you for all you do for physicians. Physician ally, right? Part of the Calvary, bringing change to medicine. Okay. Do you have questions you would like me to answer? We have about 9 minutes. So we can let the people go early or we can answer questions.
Well, thank you, Dr. Una, for doing this. This has been amazing. I know when I talk to doctors, some of the prevailing feelings is, I mean, I'm seeing all these rock stars. I'm seeing all of these doctors that seem to be just killing it. How sure can I be that I will get those same results? You know, it's almost like we want to have some type of guarantee, but you gave us a guarantee today. I mean, you told us these are what has been happening so far. These are the things that have worked for other people. This is the reality of, is it more than 80% of the school? Is it 95% of the school? I mean, it's almost everyone. I can't think of anyone. And you know, all of the things may not be happening at the same time, but they're all happening. You are all getting these 10x things happening in your life when you join. And then the guarantee is you bring the guarantee. You bring the guarantee when you stay in communication. You bring the guarantee when you stay committed to your goals. You bring the guarantee when you take the massive action. You bring the guarantee when you're coachable. Do what Dr. Una says. And you sent out a brilliant email this morning about Dr. Toomer and how she, like, all her crazy wins. But the thing about it is Dr. Tuma will tell you, I only do about 20% of what Dr. Una says. So even that 20% of doing what Dr. Una says is what's given her those amazing wins. I'm tripling her revenue just in a few months. So just just take the chance on yourself. I would say, if nothing else, take the chance on yourself. Nothing else is going to change. Your life is not going to change because more time has passed. Your life is going to change because you do something different.
Yeah, and you bring up something that, I really, well, two things, right? One is this concept of we're physicians, okay? So we are finishers. Okay, we are like perfect attendance kind of people. We check every single box, and that's what we do. Entrepreneurship is not quite that way. My job as a mentor in the EntreMD Business School is to make sure that all the tools you'll need are available. You're not going to need all the tools at the same time, right? So you will see this as a common thread where people are like, I do 30% of the thing, I do 50% of the thing, all of that. And that's fine. The important thing is you're giving it your best shot. It's not about whether you checked everything off and it's not about that. The world of entrepreneurship is very different from the scientific world we're a part of, right? And so it's not about I must get everything right, I must check every box and all of those things. So it's almost like I want to say, it's like, how about this? Why don't you just type relax in the chat, right? You're typing, so you just tell the other doctors like, like you don't have to do every single thing, right? So it's not about that. It's about giving it your best shot. There are many things I know to do that I'm not doing yet. There are many things that, like, that's not the way it works. It's not like a perfect attendance thing. It's your best shot. I can say I'm giving it my best shot, right? I don't have to be perfect. So that's the first thing that you alluded to. The other thing is this thing of, oh, but they're all unicorns. I don't deserve to be in that room. Like, you see all these physicians, they're building multiple seven-figure businesses, they're on the biggest stages, they're confident, they're doing all of these things. One of the things that is so encouraging for the people in the school, and which is why I will never delete any video of anything that's been done in EBS, is they get to see all these unicorns when they started. Because those unicorns said the same thing. Oh, you guys are all amazing. I don't deserve to be. Right? They had the challenges, and not even had, because the thing is this, after you conquer, so for instance, you hit your first million in revenue and you're on your way to your second, guess what's going to happen? Tons of insecurities are going to show up. There are going to be things you don't know how to do. There are going to be new things to learn and all. So you're always going to be a beginner. You know what I mean? Like, you're always going to be a beginner. You're just beginning at different things. And so for everyone you see and you're like, oh my goodness, they're amazing. The truth of the matter is you're amazing too. They're just in a container where they're held accountable to keep growing in that amazingness, if you will. You're amazing too. You're amazing too. What is the difference between, if you look at basketball teams, right? I'm a basketball person, okay? Because my husband is a basketball person. This is just the way it works. But when you look at basketball teams, like, when a team is not performing, they don't fire the players. They fire the coach. They're like, there's something wrong with this container. They get them a new coach. And the same people start acting differently, start producing differently. They're in a different container. EntreMD Business School is the container for physicians. It's the container. So when you look at them, you're like, oh my goodness, you're amazing too. You're amazing too. You're a unicorn too. Right? So I wouldn't, and so the first in-person retreat we had, so this was October 2020, 2020, 2021, 2021. Okay. First in-person event we had for the EntreMD Business School. After the first day, somebody came up and shared a reflection I will never forget. She's like, here I was this whole time going like, these people are amazing. These people are unicorns. I don't deserve to be here. have all the same. We're all the same. And she says, look at Dr. Beckford. She's practically EBS Oprah, and she's talking about something that she's dealing with. Like, what? We're all the same, guys. The difference is the container. We're the same. It was a revelation to her. She was like, what? I'm like, yeah. And if you go into rooms with people who are running billion-dollar businesses, guess what you'll see? The same thing. The same thing. So you're amazing. And if you feel, oh, that's for a certain kind of person, no, it's for you. It is 1,000% for you. It's for you. So don't let that hold you back. EntreMD.com/business. Go turn in your application. Talk to the lovely Makita. And you join us on Monday. Monday is day one. It's game on. Game on. The best 90 days in your business will follow these 90 days. We have our 90-day sprint plan workshop. Yeah, going to be the best 90. Okay, Makita, did you have anything else for us? Or do I let the lovely doctors go enjoy the rest of their afternoon?
No, I don't know if anyone else has any questions. Feel free to ask any questions. And just to let you know also that the filling that application does not bind you to the school. You're not filling the application to join the school. You're filling the application to have a conversation. So all that's going to happen is that you and I are going to have a conversation about the school, about your readiness, about, your next steps, if that is the next step for you. So there's no obligation whatsoever. I'm not going to hold your feet to the fire. I try and be nice. It's just really a conversation. That's all. So I just want to make sure that's clear. That's a conversation. And I think too, Dr. Una, I think people have to get over whatever has happened before. I've had people tell me, well, I've done programs before that didn't work. So I'm a little nervous, or I've hired a marketing team and they do too much, so they're a little concerned about that, or they don't trust themselves, So the bottom line is this is a new chapter. We're in the second half of the year. Take advantage of this and take advantage of the help that you're going to get. We're going to give you the community. We're going to give you the accountability. We're going to give you the strategy that you need. We're not asking you to figure it out. We're asking you to be present, to take action, to be coachable, to stay in communication. We're actually do your part. We're going to do our part. And I just want to, talk to anyone that is thinking about the financial part. We have had people 10x their investment within the first month. We had someone that joined the school in April, and by June they'd already, made the investment. And I'm talking about the paying in full investment. So, I mean, just think about it in terms of all that's possible. Dr. Una has done a fantastic job of sharing that with us. So if you're even thinking about it, let's have a conversation. EntreMD.com/business. That's all. But any questions, we're still here. If anyone has. Thank you, Dr. Una.
Yeah, that's awesome. So guys, and I think I'll leave you guys with this, right? Like if you're afraid, right? I just say that because fear did a number on me. That's why I hate it so much. That's why I talk about it so much. If you're afraid, like, I don't know if I can, I don't know if I'm the kind of person who can do that. I don't know if I'll show up and do the work. I tried to do something before and I didn't. I want to invite you to give yourself a blank slate. This is the beginning of the third quarter of the year. This is the beginning of the second half of the year. And there's nothing that will paralyze you and slow you down as much as walking around with baggage. At our last event, the first session, in order to drive this message home, I walked around looking like an idiot, dressed in a really nice outfit with a huge backpack. And I'm like, guys, like, there are things we did and it didn't work. There hurts. People left us. Clients hurt us. Team members left us. People disappointed us. We disappointed ourselves. Whatever, man. But you can't walk around with that stuff. You can't sacrifice today on the altar of yesterday. Like, we can't do that. The best thing you can do is go like, it's day one. That's why we call the sprint workshop day one. It's day one. Okay, yes, I did that before and it didn't work. Yes, I did, whatever. Well, what are you going to do? Quit on life? What are you going to do? Throw away your goals, your dreams, your aspirations, your visions? What are you going to do? Never pursue the potential that's on the inside of you? Not have the impact you set out to have? Like, no. So I want you to imagine me, cute dress, huge backpack. Will you take off the backpack? Will you give yourself a blank slate? Will you show up like, this is day one? Let's give it our best shot. Let's go. We have to do, this is why in the EntreMD Business School, we live at a quarter at a time, because who needs to carry that around for a year? Like, just get it off. Let's start over. The ultra successful continually start over. Don't let what I did 10 years ago, 2 years ago, last week, like, be done so you can fly. And don't ever forget that you're amazing. And I don't say that, like, I don't use fluffy words. I'm not a mushy person, you know, I'm not. But hear me. The system we find ourselves in has conditioned us to believe that we're victims, we're helpless, we cannot effect change, we cannot control our outcomes, we cannot control the direction of our lives, that what is, and we stay in our lane, and we do what we're told, and it is what it is, and it's a lie. You are a person who decided, I'm going to become a physician, and I'm going to get into one of the most difficult professions. That is one of the most expensive professions. That is one of the longest, it takes the longest time to get into that profession, because I want to help people. You are a unique, really special person. And we're not talking dream. You pulled it off. You got it done. You did it. And so if you could do that, when you put your heart to it, what else could you do? Who else could you become? How much bigger can your impact be? Don't believe the lie that you're ordinary, or that you're a victim, or the way you are is the way you always have to be, or the way things are is the way they always have to be, or the way your business is the way it always has to be. No, ma'am, no, sir. No, ma'am, no, sir. And this is not flattery. It's just the truth. It just is. You evolved to become the physician you are. You can evolve to become a physician entrepreneur. You can then evolve to, like, you can keep going. You've done it once. You have evidence. And you've built that muscle. So it will take shorter. I'll give you an example. When I look at my journey as an entrepreneur, and again, it's not because I'm special. Everything I tell you is because I want to show you what is possible for physicians. I'm a very private person. I would never tell anybody about my life if I did not feel that I have a responsibility to the physician community. I would never talk about it. Never. If you look at my social media and all of this, you'll find that I'm there a lot, but I am not there. My kids are not there. But like, I'm a very private person, but I want you to hear me. I looked back, and it took me 10 years, or how many ever years, to go from I'm not a doctor to I'm a pediatrician. First decade. Over the next 9 years, I launched, grew, and exited a 7-figure practice. Now I'm in another 10 years where I'm going to hit this goal of helping 100,000 doctors build profitable businesses so they have the freedom to live life and practice medicine on their terms. And after that, I'm going to get into another decade, and I'm going to choose some big thing for the decade. Do you guys understand what I'm trying to say? Like, where you are now, like, if you follow the yellow brick road, you will be blown away where you can be. And you've done it before. You've done it before. This is not something, you've done it before. But you got to get into the ring in order to do it again. You got to get in. Because there's no telling who you can be, and we will never know if you don't explore it. I would never have known that EntreMD would turn out this way. There's no way I could have known. There's no way I could have known that I'd exit a practice. There's no way I could have known. You don't know you. You've never met you. This is an invitation to go find you. You've never met you. You've never met what you don't actually know what you can do. You don't know. The people in the school who are killing it, they didn't know. They can't believe they're where they are. You don't know. But if you don't explore, you never will. We will never know if there's juice until the orange gets squeezed. EBS squeezes the juice out of you. Okay. Dr. Una is getting all in her Saturday feelings. So let's let the people go. Okay. Now, if you missed the beginning of this, we did talk about the 5 different kinds of ROI you can get from the EntreMD Business School. The replay is on our YouTube channel. So if you like EntreMD on YouTube, you'll see it there. So you can catch all of it. But the truth is this, we have mapped out a way for you to get 5 different ROI from the EntreMD Business School, and we have built the container that will deliver it to you. We have 5 simple things where, like, if you do these 5 things in this container, you will get the result. We built it that way because we want you to win. And that's the truth. We want you to win. My only motive is to see you win. Like, you win, I won. I won. Okay. All right. So go turn in your application. Please say yes to yourself. Please say yes to you, like the version of you haven't met yet. Okay. EntreMD.com/business. Makita would love to have a conversation with you. Can't wait to see you on Monday, which is day 1. Everything is about to change, and rooting for you always. Okay. All right. Bye, everybody.